Okay, so there's a whole section on soils, so that's section 2.
Yeah, two, and 2, 3.
Section 2, section 4 is the grading.
And they've got slope mapping listed as 2, 4, and 2, 5. Just what that key says, Alan.
20% dark, wet, non-isolated wetlands, what the matter is, isolated wetlands.
Just a non-isolated.
Jack, are they supposed to be in color?
Typically black.
They're all black and white, so we're not missing anything. We're not missing anything? No.
I can't see, where is it? Over there.
Soils. I have a master's degree in soil.
Proposed use and height of all buildings. Includes setbacks of all existing and proposed structures from the property.
L1 and L102.
L1 through L1.02, there's 3 sheets, which are the master plans. They would show you the building locations. And if you go to the H drawings and the W drawings, you'll see the architectural plans for the building uses. The floor plans and so forth would tell you what's in each of the buildings.
What number is that?
The H set and the W set, they're probably, there they are towards the end. The H's. So these are the high mount architecturals, gives you a vision of the building. Turn the page, and you'll see all the floor plans and what's in the building on each level. So that indicates your building uses. And that's the lodge building behind the hotel at High Mount.
Is this the heights?
Those are, you're right, that's a section through the building that shows you heights.
That's page 2.
That's the duplex detached buildings at High Mount. It shows you floor plans and elevations.
And where do I find the heights on these?
They're to scale.
Which is?
There's a graphic scale on the bottom of the sheet.
Okay. So we know where to find the heights of the buildings, and the setbacks.
The setbacks, there was a sketch, L101 and L102. It's attached to that checklist, which has all the setbacks drawn on the master plan. So those 2 drawings show you all the setbacks right on the master plan.
The zoning lines drawing as well.
So we know where to find that. Location, design, and construction materials of all parking and truck loading areas with access and egress drives thereto.
So again, if you would reference the master plans, L 1.00 through L 1.02, you'll see where the different parking areas are, the egress and access to them. And then you can see it in larger detail when you go to the L6 drawings, L 6.00 through L 6.09.
Now, how much of this is being reviewed by the secret process?
All of them.
I mean, even where the bathtubs are, the floor plans,
They just needed to know the numbers. They didn't care where they were located within the buildings, but they needed to know the words.
They just need to know where they're coming out.
So like on this particular drawing, you can clearly see that there's a parking area here with the egress and access. Presentation, you might remember that we clearly indicated that there's very little exposed parking areas on the whole site. There's only 2 actual parking lots, small ones, one for the day use of the golf course and this one for the day use of the clubhouse. The rest of the parking is all contained within the buildings. It's all covered parking.
Now, has this been reviewed by any type of fire marshal or?
We have had several meetings with the local fire departments and reviewed all of the plans with them. They brought with them staff from New York State fire prevention people who also reviewed all the plans.
Provision for pedestrian access.
Again, the master plan and the L6 drawings at larger scale will show you all the sidewalks and crosswalks where needed. This particular drawing here, you can see that there's a full set of sidewalks going all the way around the road so that people in these units can walk to the pool and the clubhouse and the tennis courts. And that's the same for all the rest of the drawings. You would see where the sidewalks are and any necessary crosswalks.
I want to point out the crosswalk on 49A from Wild Acres to DEC side.
I have here.
Back to drawing 6, I don't know if I can count 6.4. Let's see here. This is the front of Wild Acres. You see we've got a sidewalk all across the front entrance. It comes over to here, crosses our entrance drive, and then another sidewalk that wraps around. And then there's a crosswalk at 49A for people to get over to Bel Air.
It doesn't show a landing.
Once Bel Air makes their final UMP plans as to what they're doing here with their lift and stuff, then we will know how to terminate this crosswalk. But until they're finished and have an approved UMP, they won't get into that level of detail. We will work with them, and there will be the appropriate landings and so forth that need to be done at this crosswalk on the other side of 49A.
So everybody knows where to find that, right? Pedestrian walkways. Location of outdoor storage of equipment and materials.
Just go back one page. The only outside storage of equipment and materials would be at the golf maintenance building. You'll see see that's all clearly delineated as to what each things are. There's a parking here, there's a big maintenance building, little offices for the golf staff, and then these are the storage facilities.
Anybody get the point back on? Because I just got this information from Chaz. What roads do we have in the project that are exceeding 10%? Do you know where they are?
I would not be able to point to them right from here. That 10% number was a surprise to me when I heard about it. We went by county codes, so we designed all of our interior roads to meet county requirements. And if there's something in the town requirements that's more stringent, then I will have to discuss with the LA group where that may have a conflict.
Okay. Are you aware of this letter? Have you seen this yet?
Not in its entirety.
Okay, it says, just to bring this up to you, it says section 105-18 of the town code indicates that the maximum grade for minor streets is 10%. The proposed road profiles indicate sections of the road that exceed 10%. The road is in excess of the maximum grade should be approved by the town board, planning board, and/or highway superintendent.
So we
Art,
will,
does that refer to a town road spec or a driveway spec?
Well, I think it goes to
Town
town
road.
road spec.
Well, so we have to determine whether then Jason is referring to
That-
a
yeah.
driveway road or
Or a private road on the property.
Right.
correct.
Right,
That's-
but I'm just
Yeah,
bringing that out because you should know about it, because I'm
Sure.
gonna ask that question.
I will get better delineation of anything that's over that 10%, so we know where they are, if they exist, and then we'd be able to discuss whether those are internal roads, minor roads, or driveways.
Okay, thank you.
All right, move on to 10. Location, design, and construction materials of all existing or proposed site improvements, including drains, culverts, retaining walls, and fences. That's already gone over with Secor.
Right, so again, the L6 drawings are your site layout plans, which would show you proposed improvements. And then the detailed drawings, the L8s, L8.00 through L8.03, will show you all the details of the culverts, retaining walls, drains, and so forth.
Can you find out where those two drains are that the lady had talked about? Or is
Do you
that-
have,
they're
did
not
you
on
find
the
that for us,
property?
Chuck?
You go back down, back to L, like 1.0, right to the master plan. She is referring to two culverts that cross here and here on either side of her house. That's her house.
Could you reference that like in real life for me?
Here's the old lodge buildings for the old High Mount Ski Center. So you come up 49A, you've made the bend. This is the old High Mount Ski Center here. She's directly across the street.
Is that the driveway that?
Goes right into the
Elevated.
garage.
Yep.
And
Do
then,
you have
yes,
a highlighter by any chance?
that's correct.
I can
So now you know where we're talking about. You could go back to the drainage plans and find the sheet that zooms in on that area.
Are we allowed to put any marks on this one? Can we put a dot right there, just so I know?
Well, here, why don't we go back to the drainage?
Why don't you,
plans?
why don't I get some, why don't I get, hold on, I'm gonna get some bright yellow sticky notes and you can
That
write
works.
on it.
Yeah, that works. Thank you. I was gonna sign that in there.
that part of the site is not on the site plans because we're not doing anything over there. So you have to pull out from the seeker documents the roadway improvement plans.
For some reason, when she was speaking, she said sheet 2.12. I don't know if that has a reference to anything or if I even copied it right.
That would have been in the seeker documents,
Okay,
not on the site plan drawings.
okay.
So if you go back to the master plan again,
Yeah, the one she gave us.
Here's,
Yep.
so
Thanks.
use these as a marker, and these are sticky notes as well. You can write notes on if you want to put notes next to whatever.
so we're talking right in here. And we're not proposing anything
Oh,
over here.
yeah, her
So it
comments.
didn't need to be detailed. But there is a proposal for improvement to 49A in
Yeah,
the
I'll
secret
write you one in
documents.
just a moment.
And that's where you would find those two.
Don't we have a break we can take? Art, just so you know, before you pull that apart, the order that that's in is the order that it was in when she handed it to me, because she has inserts in between the number
Oh.
of pages.
Okay.
So I didn't change it, I left it in that exact
Well,
order.
thanks for telling me, because it was falling out, I didn't know what to put there.
So I don't know if I put a staple in it or not, but,
Yeah, there is a statement.
okay, because I wanted it to stay in the order that she gave it to me in, because she's got things in between the different pages.
BP6.
There's pages attached behind the numbered pages.
Yeah, she says BP6 or anyway, what I'd like to do is just bring this to our engineer with that and just go over it.
We have on the agenda, a Chazen meeting with town officials. So we're planning on having a meeting with Chazen, building inspector, fire chiefs and stuff. But Don will talk more about that when we get through this.
Okay,
But we're gonna be setting something up. So this will all be brought in.
great, thanks.
A description of the method of sewage disposal and the location, design and construction materials of such facilities.
Sewer and water are on the PN drawings,
Okay, Art.
which are located
Maybe
here
we
towards
need
the
to
back.
get everybody's availability, so I can put something together.
So all of these PN drawings,
That's all the wastewater.
that's all, right, PN1 through PN20 shows you all of the water supply and wastewater lines on the plan. This particular sheet here is showing the water supply line coming along Route 28 from our well site to get up to our site. It comes up, we've got the quarry site off of Moran Road, where we've got auxiliary wells, and then it gets pumped up and gets brought over to our water treatment facility. And then from there, it goes on up to the water tank, and then from the water tank, gravity feeds back down to the resort. So these 20 sheets show you that entire layout.
The whole, in detail, the whole path.
Yep.
Is that laid out anywhere in like a bigger scale?
It's all done at this scale, so that it can be legible.
What are we up to now? Waste? Are you discussing wastewater now?
Yes.
Okay.
Wastewater and water supply are on the same set of drawings, the PN drawing.
Okay, everybody knows where to find that? Description of the method of securing water supply and the location, design, and construction materials, that's the PNs. Right. Location of fire and other emergency zones, including the location of the nearest water supply for fire emergencies.
Again, if you go to your layout plans, the L6 drawings, at any of the buildings, the major hotels, you'll see the fire access lanes that are being provided around all the buildings. And then the water and sewer plans, the PN drawings, would show you all the hydrant locations. Like on this particular drawing here, you'll see this calls out, this is the hotel building, this is the access drive that's heading up. There's a fire lane over here that would get you to the far end of the building.
Is this the spot?
Correct.
Okay. And that's the back, like the back road for the
Right,
fire
that would
truck
be
to use.
emergency access to the building.
And there are no hydrants on these pages, they're all on the.
They're on the plumbing drawings.
Okay.
We might have to look at areas like that. Yeah, for a fire truck, for a slope out like that.
Well, remember, the dotted line that you're looking at there is existing contours.
Right.
If you go back to the grading plans,
Okay.
you'd probably see that he's regraded this all so that this is an accessible drive for the vehicles.
So then, okay, so the new grade's not shown on any of these pages.
No, they go to the section 2 and section 4, right?
Right.
Location, design, and construction materials of all energy distribution facilities, including electrical, gas, and solar energy.
And you'll note in the application that we noted for this part of the checklist that all the electrical and propane distribution lines will be run underground. We're not doing any overhead running. And that the final locations will be determined during design development with the mechanical engineers on board. At this point, they're not on board yet. But they'll all be run underground.
But we don't have maps showing exactly where that's gonna be yet. Location, design, and construction materials of all proposed signage.
Again, we have this drawing open. Your site layout plans would show any major signage, its location, and it references a detail mark. And then you can go back to the L8 drawings, the detail sheets, to see what those signs would look like.
My number 16 is cut off here.
It says, location and proposed development of all buffer areas, including indication of existing vegetation cover, and that's all laid out on the L6 drawings. We show existing vegetation, we show buffers, it's all shown on the L6 drawings.
What, they located trees, but what, you know, what the limit was, over 20-inch diameters, or?
You'll see here this squiggly line that follows around. That is the edge of existing,
I'm just looking at these, I wonder where they, what the
those
cutoff was.
are all new.
Oh, okay.
Those are all new. That's all part of the landscaping plan. This is the edge of undisturbed vegetation. So all of this would remain undisturbed as a buffer, same type of thing. This line that goes around here, all of this is undisturbed buffer.
Location and design of outdoor lighting facilities, including data regarding when appropriate lighting levels both within the site and the site boundaries.
The site layout drawings, the L6s, will indicate where roadway lighting is. You'll see them located on the plans. And then in the SDIS documents, Appendix 25, there's an entire visual impact assessment, which would tell you all about the lighting levels and the type of fixtures and so forth that are being used.
19, detailed landscaping plan and planning schedule.
Skip
Oh,
Designation of the amount of building area proposed for retail, sales, office use, or similar commercial activity, H through H3.
Right, so the H and W drawings are the architectural drawings of the High Mount Hotel and the Wild Acres Hotel. And on those floor plans, it indicates where there would be any retail space and how large it is.
detailed landscaping plan and plan schedule, including the number, size, type, and location of canopy trees. Okay, you just explained that. And they're all proposed, right?
Yep. And there is a schedule, I believe, on the first of the drawings, on the L6 drawing. Might even be a schedule of the type of trees and so, yes. There's a full schedule of the type of trees that would be used and so forth.
Anything out of the ordinary, or are they all?
Palm trees.
It's all invasive species.
So they're all kind of native to the.
All right.
Okay. Building elevations and sections at a scale sufficient to delineate clearly the massing and the exterior materials, textures, colors of all buildings and other structures shown on the site plan.
Again, that would reference back to the H and W drawings, the architecturals of the two major hotels. And then if you go into the seeker documentation, Appendix 25 is the visual impact assessment, which tells you all about the type of materials, color ranges, and so forth that would be used on the buildings.
And other elements integral to the proposed development as considered necessary by the planning board, including identification of any state or county permits required for the project's execution.
And all of that is clearly in Volume 1, Section 1 of the SDEIS. It talks about all the different permits and the different agencies and so forth.
All right, so let's take our list, take a look at the
You want another copy?
comments.
Yep, not a problem.
And we'll start looking into this stuff, okay?
But you want to keep it in your folder here so that it's here.
No.
Thanks, Jeff.